Hello, this video is going to be my entry into Adam Harris's 100 subscriber appreciation giveaway. Congratulations, Adam, on 100. Very cool. Very nice milestone right there. If any of y'all haven't seen his channel before, I'll put a link to it in the description in the comments below. And definitely go check it out. For his giveaway, he's asked us to describe how we pick a lock, what our MO is on that, for how we pick a lock for the first time, how we approach it. I think that is interesting because one of the things that I think stands out about Adam's videos to me is when I watch him pick, he seems to be very self-aware and very deliberate in his picking. He doesn't seem like he's random. And I've noticed he's been picking harder and harder locks, and he's been picking them faster and faster. And I can't help but think that's because he is taking a sort of, I don't know, maybe a slightly scientific approach to it and really developing his own methodology that works for it. So I think it kind of makes sense that this is what he asked for his giveaway. So yeah, I'll jump into it. I can't say that I'm super reliable about what I do when I'm picking locks. It's kind of random, kind of like depends on my mood, why am I picking the lock, etc. If it's a wafer lock like this, I am always going to try to use a jiggler key or rake it first because it just tends to work extremely well for me. You can see this jiggler key here, stick it in there, give it a little jiggle. We open that up real quick. We can also lock it back up real quick. So this is like the type of lock you often see at retail stores on like glass counters for their expensive stuff. You can see how quick we can open that with something that looks like a key. So use your powers for good, people. Stay out of trouble. Stay legal. Yeah, pen tumblers. If it's like this Brinks padlock right here, I'm not going to pick all these because the video will get long. I'm just going to sort of discuss them, I think, and that'll keep it from getting too long. So like laminated locks like this, laminated padlocks that look fairly cheap, I'm going to try to rake them first. If that doesn't work, I'm going to go to single pin picking. When it comes to tools, I try to stick to the necessary 9 set from Tool. I do that for a couple of reasons. I don't want to have a huge set of picks for every lock. I want to be able to use a little set and open a lot of locks with a few tools. That's what I would ideally like, to be able to use the same tool for a lot of locks. Also, sometimes I will go to the conferences where like tools teaching people to pick locks, and I like to be able to use the same tools they are to open them. So it's like they're not saying, oh, well, you've got this fancy pick, that's why you can open it. So I like to use the same tools that other people are using to open the locks. And other people, it's something that we can all reference, very standard. I really like the numbering on them nowadays, 30, 40, 50 thousandths. So we can all know exactly what we're using and replicate the tools and use the same tools. Okay, so with that being said, once I start picking the lock, I'm going to look at the keyway, and that's going to tell me whether or not I want to first use top of keyway or bottom of keyway. So my personal preference is bottom of keyway, just because that's what I initially learned when I was picking locks. I understand that top of keyway will generally give you more room to maneuver your pick. I don't think you always need that room, but when you do, it's very handy. And so I understand the idea of training and practicing to always pick top of keyway. I've just grown up picking bottom, so I gravitate towards bottom of the keyway. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to find a turning tool that fits in there snugly. So okay, 50 thousandths doesn't really want to fit. I go to the next biggest one. Excuse me. 40 thousandths. Okay, so that's a nice snug fit. I could do that at the top there too, because that top is square. I can get a nice snug fit in the top, and I don't have to worry about anything slipping out. So that's how I'm going to approach that. I'll give you a couple of ideas. On these padlocks where you've got the cover plate like this, I may do top of keyway like this with one of these, but my personal favorite for this style is the Ergo Turners from Covert Instruments. They seem to just fit in just perfectly to rest my finger on there, and I get good feedback. I do not like to pick these bottom of the keyway. I've had a lot of trouble. I can't remember what goes wrong, but something just seems to always go wrong when I go bottom of the keyway on these, so I don't typically do it. Let's see, so you can see there's a huge keyway, big open keyway. Nothing much to say there. Same thing there. This is one where we've also got a very clear spot. I can go top or bottom. But once again, I've got a really nice like shelf right here on the side. I think I can slide my pick, yeah, all the way through there, and I'm not touching any pens. So there's no reason for me to go top. And actually, I can get good leverage, so I can maybe get even slightly better leverage with the turning tool there. Maybe, maybe not, but yeah, so that's that. Yeah, I'll generally start with a short flat hook for picking. Yeah, here's an example of where I might want to start to go top of keyway. There's relatively little space there, so it's very possible I could overset these pens here. You can hear those pens. You can hear those pens dragging across the pick when I just go right here. So that would be a good reason to have top of keyway and then go to the side if there's any like zero lifts. This is one where like top of keyway would probably be harder because of that space right there, and there's so much at the bottom. I would use bottom. All right, so that's probably enough about the turning, I think, versus of top versus bottom. What about the keys? If I have a key to a lock, I will use it to get a feel for the lock first. I will put the key in, and it does a couple things. I can look at the key, and I can get a idea of, okay, how many pins do we have there? I can count it up. Then when I put it in the lock, I can and I turn it, I can get a feel for how much force does it require to actually open this lock. When you get it picked, does it need a whole lot of force to turn? Because sometimes that gets you stuck, just not realizing you need to be turning harder when you open the lock. And then the other thing I can do with it is, this might just be superstitious, but I do it sometimes, is I'll put the lock in, I'll pull it back out one, and I'll twist and push, and I'll loosen up, and I'll just get an idea for how loose it needs to be before those overset pins start to fall down and reset. I don't know that that actually helps, but I do it sometimes. As far as picking methodology, I tend to go, I don't know if I already said this, I will tend to go heavy tension. I will see if heavy tension works. And if it does, I'll stick with it because I want as much feedback as I can get. I generally like to go all the way to the back of the lock and just sort of figure out where is the back of the lock. That also gives me an idea of how much tension I should be using. If I can't even get to the back of the lock, I know I need to loosen up some tension. And then, as you can see here, I go to the back and I start working my way towards the front. I may not always do that. I might start at the front and work my way back. That's where I say I may not be super consistent about it. Then I go to the back again, and I'm just sort of like feeling it, each pen, in this case for binders or trying to see if I can push it into a false set. But I'm going all the way to the back, and I'm picking my way towards the front. And I can't say that I would do that on every lock either. I feel like on one of these locks, it's very possible I might start at the front and then work my way back. So yeah, I guess that's I'm not super consistent about it. Yeah, I should probably practice on that somewhere too. What else might actually be useful? I don't want to ramble. What else might be useful? I think that's kind of it. I don't think I have a super like set methodology for how I go through picking on my. I think that's sort of what I've said there. I try to use as much tension as I can. I don't try to go light. Sometimes you have to go light, like when you're raking, or you just find that particular lock works really well with light tension because it's got a lot of serrated pens or something like that. But I will try to go as hard as I can to get away with it, and I do have bent picks. What else? I think that's all I've got, and I don't want the video to be too long. It's already gotten to 10 minutes now. Okay, enough rambling. Thank you for watching. Definitely go check out his channel. Very good guy there. I don't know why. I feel like I could trust Adam. Like, I get the impression he's the sort of person I could leave lots of expensive stuff with, and it would just be fine. I don't know. That's randomness. But anyways, congratulations, Adam. Very nice milestone there. Many more to come. And thank you all for watching.